want to learn from the very best, then you've got to go to the source. Today, I'm going to be sharing my favourite books written by leading interior stylists. They are full of inspiration. There is expert advice. There is real world kind of advice on how to get styling right. And I mean, they're stylists. You know it's going to be good. The reason I'm doing this is because I just set up to record a podcast with, or record a video on how to style this dresser. And every time I looked at it, I saw another book by one of the people I know. So I thought I would share these books. I haven't even counted how many there are. I'm going to start with Relaxed Coastal Style. This is by Sally Denning. Sally is an interior stylist I met a long time ago. This book, this was her second book. Her first book was called Calm. The back of this book, it says, in Relaxed Coastal Style, Sally Denning offers decorating inspiration for anyone lucky enough to live by the ocean, as well as those of us who only dream of it. The sun is shining today, and I thought it was a really good place to start. This book is full of really beautiful, calming images from around the world. There's some images of quite rustic style. If you follow Sally on Instagram, you'll see it's very much her own personal taste. I think all stylists put their own personal taste into their work, but it's just some beautiful draping. And when you think coastal style, you kind of automatically think summer, but obviously in the winter, there's going to be some layering of homes that are by the coast. But it's just beautiful. Lots of Mallorcan, what's that say? Mallorcan family retreat. Lots of Norfolk beach shack. Just really, really lovely. It's the kind of book you'll really enjoy on your coffee table in the summer. I should add these are not in any particular order. The next one is The Romantic Minimalist by Atlanta Bartlett and Dave Coote. I went to the press show, I went to the press launch of this book last year at Atlanta's and Dave's home, and we walked around their cabins. I know their cabins are, it's a new thing. They are, I don't know how to describe it. You basically design it and then they pick it up and they drive it somewhere and they put it on your land or wherever you want it. It's basically like deliverable cabins, but they have a very unique style. It's very white. I think this was their 9th or 10th book. I've got quite a few of their books, but Romantic Minimalist, I'm sure you can imagine. There's lots of white. There's lots of, the menu just fell out of it from the press launch. This is the kind of book that makes my heart literally sing. And I know how cheesy that sounds, but I just don't care. I love Atlanta's style. She's got very kind of wooden panels along the wall, and there's lots of vintage, and it's very white, which I'm not a very white sort of person. But there was one room in her home, in her cabins, that had this amazing turquoise colour. It was like everything was white. There were white slip covers on like a shabby chic armchair, and then there was just this one cushion that was turquoise, and it was just stunning, absolutely stunning. And this book is full of things like that. There are some that are less shabby chic, but most of it has just that beautiful vintage charm that you just absolutely love. I'm hoping to get Atlanta on a future podcast. We did talk about it during her launch, but I haven't asked her since. So I need to get her and Dave back on to talk about how they do their cabins now, because they are absolutely stunning. But The Romantic Minimalist, beautiful book. Let's just pop that menu back. Menu. Okay, the next book. This one came out a little while ago. This one's called Quiet Pattern. This is by Abigail Edwards. I met Abigail when she was an interior stylist on a magazine called Homes and Ideas. It was the first magazine I ever worked on. Abby was freelance and doing quite a lot of work on country homes and interiors at the time. She's now a wallpaper designer. She has her own wallpapers, and there's a lot of this kind of style, her wallpaper style, in this book. And this is called Seascape. It's got like line drawings of waves. And I did a shoot with this many years ago. I used this kind of wave design paper, and when set designers put wallpaper on walls, they use this special low-tack glue, so they can put it up in the morning, and then at the end of the day, they can just literally pull the top and it will come off. And they were getting ready to throw it away, and I was like, don't throw that away. I need to keep that. And they basically folded it very carefully for me, and I still got some now. And this was absolutely years ago, because it was just, I could not have that thrown away. It was so fabulous. It's got just this beautiful, calming like effect of it. On the back, am I even going to be able to read this? Let's give it a go. She says, putting her glasses on, because it's white and there's no way in this light I could read it without them. So it says, Quiet Pattern is an exploration of designs that deliver the gentlest of backdrops for your home, creating a peaceful sanctuary in which to retreat and recharge from everyday life. Starting with Quiet Pattern's historical roots and close links to nature, we are introduced to contemporary artisanal designers around the world who reveal their inspirations, work and living spaces. The book also examines how Quiet Pattern can be used in a practical way at home, room by room. Delicate and inspiring, this book is for everyone interested in pattern that is unobtrusive, calming and a little magical. How lovely is that? If you ever get to meet Abby or see her talking, she's a very gentle person, and actually you can't help but be calm and gentle around her. The photography is absolutely stunning. I don't know who did the photography for this book, actually. That's something I probably should have looked up before we started. Abby was actually one of our podcast guests when she had her wallpapers out already. It's not a video podcast. It's one of the very, very early ones. It was when she was launching a range of rugs that went with her papers. Now, I remember there was a briar rose. There was an owl one and a briar something. Briar owl, maybe? But it's just a really lovely book. And it's always really interesting to hear other people's stories and their thoughts behind how they work with pattern. It's just lovely. I'll tell you how long ago this was. I saw a picture of Abby's children the other day, and they were really tall. And they weren't even born when I interviewed her. So that was a long time ago. Carrying on with the very calm home theme, the next book is The Sensory Home by Pippa Jameson. Now, Pippa was actually one of the most recent interview podcasts I had come out. I did an IGTV live. I know they're not called that anymore, but I did an IGTV live with Pippa because Pippa has a new range of paints out from or with Graham and Brown, but they're tied in. So she has this business called The Sensory Home. This business brand, I say brand, she has a brand called The Sensory Home. And it's very much about, or when we were talking, she was telling me about how it came about from, I should go back a step or two. Pippa was an interior stylist. She is an interior stylist, but she has other strings to her bow. And one of them is creating this practice, this brand called The Sensory Home, because her daughter, who is autistic, or do we say neurodivergent? I'm not sure what the correct term is, but her daughter is autistic and said, I love being at home. I love the surroundings. I love how calm it is. It makes me feel really calm and safe and happy. And she started researching and going deeper into how your surroundings can affect you when you are someone who is not neurotypical. So someone like myself. So I have ADHD. So I do understand that how I surround myself completely affects how productive I am, how happy I am, how aggravated I am. If I'm feeling a little bit tetchy, maybe it's because there's too much orange in the room and those sorts of things. And Pippa's business, the Sensory Home, is all about that. So her new range of paints, which came out, I'm recording this now in April 2025, her new range of paints came out earlier this month, and there's 16 paints. You can listen to the podcast with her where she talks all about the paints and the names, and the one is Focus, and the one, they're all very calming, and they're beautiful, muted, neutral colours. They're very, very peaceful and calm. But that she does design consultations with people who have neurodivergent children who need to be helped in their surroundings, and just being educated into how if you paint your child's room a certain colour, it might feel more cocooning and they might find that better than a colour you might have gone and chosen blue or pink or red or whatever colour. The colours make a massive difference. Anyway, back to the book. The Sensory Home is a book that came out, I think it came out last year. And And it's all about that whole sensory home ethos. So when she was first starting to do the sensory home branding, or I don't even know how to say it, her interior design studio, which isn't, that's just not big enough. When you say that, that just doesn't sound big enough, because what she does is so much more than that. But the book is very much those sorts of stuff. I mean, it's, again, very rustic, lots of textures, anything with all the little bits of paper keep falling out. Oh no, this something just fell out. For anyone listening on the podcast and watching the video, this is a an envelope. I do like writing on envelopes. This is an envelope in the back of the book from when I first received it, and I would write notes and questions on things that I wanted to bring up when I knew I would be speaking to Pippa about it. I've written notes on an envelope, and it just fell out. Normally, when you get sent press copies, you quite often get the press release printed out and it's inside the book, and that's what keeps falling out every time I grab them from the shelf. Anyway, so the book is full of beautiful colours. I mean, these colours in the book are very much the colours that you would see if you looked at Pippa's own home. Her home is available as a shoot location, and it's just got the most beautiful, calming colours, and the words and the talking, like the words and the talking. Let's just read what it says on the back, shall we? So, to create a home that makes us happy, we first need to listen and respond to our senses. Layout, colour, texture, scent, lighting and more can be used to calm, energise, to focus the mind or relax the body. This book will inspire you to embrace mindful decorating and put comfort and well-being at the heart of your home. How beautiful. I think that's really lovely. I really love this book. I love Pippa's writing. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I love what she says, and I love how she says it. It's just really, it's very inspiring, and you almost feel calm just reading it. Like, you don't even have to do anything. You can just think, ah, that is a beautiful colour. I love how that desk is set up. I feel relaxed already. Okay, what should we do next? I know what we'll do next. We'll do The Contented Nest. Now, this is Sara Bird, who's an interior stylist. In fact, I would probably say interiors editor, and Dan Duchars, who is a photographer. They teamed up many years ago when Sara went freelance. I think they've probably been shooting together for years. They created the Contented Nest. It is one of the best names ever. What a clever name. The Contented. It's just brilliant. They have done 2 books. They have a third coming out. I'm saying third, it might even be fourth. But they have a number of books. They have a new one coming out soon. This one is Gardens for the Soul. I think this was their second book, and this is the one I'm sharing. The first one, Home for the Soul. I've also had, did I speak to Sara? I can't remember if I spoke to her in real life or I spoke to her. I definitely didn't do a podcast. I might have done a video or something. Home for the Soul came out during lockdown or just after lockdown, so I can't remember what I did. But anyway, I'm very drawn to garden books. I'm really into the garden. I think quite a lot of people are summertime gardeners, aren't they? Like, the sun's come out, everything's starting to sprout. Spring is kind of well and truly underway. Let's get some plants. Let's go and buy some bedding plants. So when you, press release just fell out. When you look through this book, it's more than just gardens. It's very much about how you use your garden as an extension of your home, how you create little spaces for you to relax in. Can you see a theme here? The book on the back, it says, Gardens for the Soul is about embracing year-round outdoor living, personalising your plot and working sustainably in harmony with nature. There are lots of garden entertaining, lots of alfresco dining and lounging. There's sleeping, lots of hammocks, lots of sheds, really, really fabulous little setups. And actually, I think I would have pretty much, oh, that's Abigail Ahern's garden. I would pretty much have all of these gardens. They all look so inviting. And Sara has just such a beautiful way of styling. Like, just everything looks so inviting. Every table has just the right kind of linen tablecloth, just the right amount of kind of the gathering feeling. It's a really beautiful book, really inspiring. I might have to leave them out in a minute. I might have to get all of these back out in a minute. So Home for the Soul, Garden for the Soul. I can't remember what her new one is, but it's going to be going on the bookshelf, that's for sure. Okay, this one. Oh, I've recommended this one to so many people. This is by Lucy Gough. Lucy Gough is an interior stylist. She worked on Living Etc. for a really long time, and she's from Australia. She's actually back in Australia, but she does pop over every now and again to do shoots in England. Can you imagine being asked to come over from the other side of the world to do a shoot? That's how good a stylist she is. So the Home Style Handbook. This is a really clever book. So I'm going to have to put my glasses on again. Small reading. Okay. So in this inspirational handbook, interior stylist and tutor Lucy Gough shows you how to create and use a mood board, find not unsatisfying, that's so the wrong word, find a unifying colour, I'm so glad I'm wearing my glasses, find a unifying colour scheme that makes you happy, add impact with art, plants and accessories, style every room in the house from hallways to kitchens. Now this is a proper handbook. This is a proper book that talks through how to understand styling, and it's got lots of examples in it. It's got lots of really beautiful images. Lots of lovely homes have been shot. She shares examples of how to style things, layouts of kitchens, like when you're planning to put your kitchen in, how you could lay it out, how to connect rooms. There's so many different, it's almost like interior design and styling smooshed together with loads and loads of practical advice and tips. Lucy is a really lovely person, so her personality really comes through. I think she's a natural teacher. She's really very friendly and very helpful, and always will answer any questions anyone has about styling. And she's almost put all of those questions into a book and shared them with everybody so everyone can get those same answers again and again. So the Home Style Handbook. And this one is shot by Simon Bevan. I like it when they put the photographer on the front so I can credit them properly. Right, what else have we got? Oh, I know who we haven't featured yet. Home for Now. I think this is the last one, actually. Let's check. Oh, no, I've got one more person to include. Yes, one more person. Home for Now. Now, this is Joanna Thornhill. Joanna Thornhill is an interior stylist and a writer and an author. She's also been a guest on the podcast in the past, a number of times, actually. We did a book launch interview for, I don't think it was this one. Was it this book? She's got lots of books. I can't remember which book it was now, but I've had her on the podcast before. Joanna is a member of Inside Stylist, and when she replies in comments on the Facebook group, she just has such a way with words. It's like, it's not just a quick reply, it's a whole proper answer that is so enjoyable to read. So when she brought her first book out, I was very excited. I was like, come, let's do a podcast. We've got to share it. But she's got 4 or 5. I think she's working on one at the moment. It's all hush hush. She's very good at not sharing what she's doing, because I would definitely blurt it out by mistake. But when she says, I can't talk about it, but I'm working on a book, you're like, okay, don't, just come and tell me when you're finished and then we'll talk about it. But this book is the one I've selected to share with you today, Home for Now, because it's really juicy. So I'm going to read the back and then I will tell you why it's such a good book. So Home for Now offers a blend of inspiration and practical advice, whether you are a renter with little freedom to decorate or alter your home, or a first-time buyer with limited funds for renovation. Discover simple, budget-friendly ways to transform your stepping stone abode into a stylish home without risking your deposit or making irreversible changes. As well as showcasing standout interiors, simple step-by-step projects are included that both renters and DIY-phobic homeowners can easily achieve. To make their temporary living spaces feel like home. And then it's got a little bit about Jo. It says, Joanna Thornhill is a freelance interior stylist and writer and has worked for a range of magazines and commercial clients. Having lived in a total of 12 rented properties throughout her adult life, she is currently renovating her first home for now in North London. I love Jo. I think Jo's great. To be honest with you, I do love most stylists. Most stylists are super friendly. We're all homemakers. We like to share our thoughts and our ideas, and that's why there are so many interior stylist books on my shelves. So this book is full of really beautiful images, obviously in rented accommodation, and it just gives you ideas on how to pull together a scheme, or like how do you put art on a wall when you can't actually drill into the walls, and what if you want to paint, how can you do your room or do your home without it costing a fortune, but you're going to have to turn it back to white afterwards, and all those juicy tips. So that is a really good book. But Jo has got other books, and one is like My Bedroom is My Office and Other Dilemmas, or something like that. It's like a Q&A book, and that's really good as well. I think the thing with Jo is that she's a really good interior stylist, but she's a really good writer, and I love reading her words. Her words are just fabulous. So you get the double whammy there. Most people who've worked on magazines are good at styling and good at writing, because you have to be able to do both. A lot of people now do styling and don't need to learn the art and the skill of writing. And it's a shame, because that's just such a great thing to be able to do. Right, let me just double check I haven't forgotten anyone. I think this is all the stylists. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to add one more in. It's not a stylist, it's a photographer. This is East London Homes. Oh my goodness, it's written in silver, so I'm definitely going to put my glasses on. Okay, East London Homes. East London is a playground of possibility. In a neighbourhood where tradition and experimentation collide, there's no such thing as a typical home. This book is a celebration of diverse creative expression, a journey through the compelling interiors of architects, florists, filmmakers, upholsterers, and many more who don't play by the rules other than their own. How cool is that? So East London Homes is a book that I was sent by the photographer. So this book is by Sara Bagner. Oh, let's try that again. No, that's right. Sara Bagner. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on and I don't know Sara. Sara Bagner and John Aaron Green. Now, I did a shoot with John Aaron Green. I've done a few shoots with John Aaron Green, actually. He's got a lot of his photos are in my portfolio on Inside Stylists. When I did the first shoot, he was telling me about his book. It hadn't long come out. And we met for the first time. We did this amazing shoot. It was so good. I loved that shoot. And he was telling me about his book, and he said, give me your address, I'll send it to you. And I thought, oh, you don't have to do that. You've just met me. Sure enough, a couple of days later, it turned up. So thank you for that, John. This is a really good book. This is why books like this are brought out for the same reason that you have the magazines like 25 Beautiful Homes, and you always have real homes features in magazines, because we want to see what other people do. If you've got lots of Victorian terraces running through one street, they're all going to be done differently. And it's that voyeuristic thing of Instagram, isn't it? You want to look into what people are doing and get some inspiration from them. And that is what you get with this book. And I was expecting it to be just like real homes, nothing too different from what you expect in an East London home. Oh no, there are the most incredible people in this book. They are so, well, as I just read, they're so creative. There's really interesting ideas. John is a fabulous photographer. I would shoot him. He just did a shoot for the White Company. That's how high level he is. They're just really lovely books, really lovely images. That might be Abigail Ahern again. I'm pretty sure that's Abigail Ahern. Yes, it is. There she goes. I've been to her house. That's why I'm recognizing it. It's quite distinctive. But, you know, pictures with windows with loads of plants in the window. They're just lovely. Colourful and then minimalistic. Really, really like maximalist, then really minimalist. They're so interesting. I'm going to leave that one out as well. I haven't looked through this one for a little while. I've got quite a lot of books. These are just the friends books. All the rest are on the bookshelf and in the office. And coffee table books are just the best, but when they're interiors ones, they're fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So I hope that was inspirational. I hope that's kind of whetted your appetite into what interior stylists can do in a book, how you can find inspiration there. It's not always just about here's a pretty home. It's the stories behind the home. And that is what you'll find. If you ever look in a magazine at the features on real homes, it's never just here's a pretty house. It's always here's a beautiful house and here's why it's beautiful and here's what the owners did and this is their story. It's the story behind the pictures. It's what's going on behind the lens. And that is what we love. We love the story. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching or listening if you're listening on the podcast, and I will catch you on the next one.